Then when this matter goes up, he should show that as an evidence. But no, they just come, they take out my father's wallet, they take out my father's phone and all, and they also tell my father's ID is fake. How can a person's ID be fake? A sub-inspector won't know the difference between a fake ID and a normal ID. He also has it is his right to know every officer, every senior officer. He can't misbehave to an officer, nor with any other common man. If this situation has happened to Mr. Dr. P. Ravindranath today, it can happen to anybody tomorrow. So my request to the people is, please give your views, fight this out. We need to do something about this. This is not a small issue which has been going around. There are many higher officials who are not even supporting my father, who are not even starting this investigation properly. They have not shown any proof. It has been 3 days. The photos have not been showed. They just say 2 photos were found. But where are the photos?
Akhila, has your father spoken to you after the incident? Have you had a word with him?
Yes.
What has he said?
He said, you don't worry about it so much. You concentrate on your studies. You don't bother about this so much. I'll make this thing I'll get justice. I've not done anything wrong. You believe me? He was not so much.
So an incident that has snowballed to become such a big issue. Do you think there's someone behind it?
Maybe someone is behind it. I don't know, but people are there with him. About someone behind him, I want them to realize that all this is being done for their bad, because initially they thought if they tried to do all this to my father in the cafeteria of the coffee shop, he would get scared and he would be insulted, embarrassed, and he would leave and go. But my father didn't do that, because he didn't do anything wrong. The next day he goes to the police station. He goes walking till there because he believes a government vehicle is supposed to be used only for government issues, for his own work, but for his government work. For his personal work, he shouldn't use such things. He went walking till there. He has filed a case. He asked the girl to put an FIR, which she didn't, and he was investigating about this.
He himself asked the girl to put an FIR, is it?
Yeah, he didn't ask him. He didn't ask the girl, but he insisted other officers to tell her to put the FIR, because if FIR is not put, if he is not arrested, justice won't be done. That's what his feeling. If he is like any other common man, he believes if I have been accused, I should be treated like one, unless and until justice has been, unless and until people know the truth, and all this thing comes out.
Are you taking it strong, finally?
Yes, I'm very strong about this, and I will support my father. We love you, Daddy. All the best.
Love you too, Papa.
That was really sweet, very brave of the both of you. Thank you so much for speaking to us there. Both the daughters of P. Ravindranath telling us that he is absolutely innocent, and that all the 24 years of his service, there was no black spot. This somehow is someone conspiring against him, and that could be someone behind him.
It was not just his daughters, Ravindranath's wife too defended him.
Truth must come out, that's all. I want to tell that. Being a journalist, why she is not coming out?
Ravindranath sure has his family's support, but will that be sufficient to help him come clean?
While officials are promising investigations into the high-profile case involving the ADGP, an embarrassing drama unfolded in front of the Commissioner's office. Take a look at this exclusive footage where, in a rather bizarre demand, Ravindranath was seen hounding the police commissioner, courting arrest. Take a look.
He has to arrest her. He has to arrest her.
Take a look at these scenes.
I am alleged already. Now you arrest me now. He has to arrest her. He has to arrest her. Case is registered. Call the IO. Call the IO. Direct IO. Direct IO to arrest. Direct IO to arrest.
Well, this was the drama put up by the ADGP outside the Commissioner's office. In this amateur footage, one can see how Ravindranath enters the Commissioner's office and, on spotting Auratka, started ranting his crazy demands. An angry Ravindranath was seen hounding the police commissioner and incessantly courting arrest.
I am alleged already. Now you arrest me now. He has to arrest her. He has to arrest her. Case is registered. Call the IO. Call the IO.
But the police commissioner can be seen making an attempt to evade the situation and not reacting to Ravindranath's demands.
Direct the IO to arrest.
While the drama continues in this case, the blame game has begun. While the ADGP claims that the entire controversy is a well-hatched plan by the police department and Commissioner Oratkar, the latter has refuted to all the allegations.
ಅದು ಒಂದು ರಹಸ್ಯ ವೆಚ್ಚದ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಕಂಡು ಬಂತು. ನಾನು ಡಿ ಜಿ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಪತ್ರ ಬರೀತಿದ್ದೆ, ಅವರಿಂದ ಫೋನ್ ಬಂತು ನನಗೆ, ಅದು ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಆಗಿದ್ದು ನನಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸೋದು ಮರೆತು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ತಿರ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದುಡ್ಡು ಉಳಿದಿದೆ, ಅದು ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ದುಡ್ಡು, ಆ ಸರ್ಕಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಜಮಾ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಅವರೇ ಸ್ವತಃ ಒಬ್ಬ ಮನುಷ್ಯನ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಆ ದುಡ್ಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ, ನಾನು ಅವ್ರನ್ನೇನು ಕೇಳಿಲ್ಲ ದುಡ್ಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಡಿ ಅಂತ, ನಾನು ಡಿ ಜಿ ಅವರ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ಈ ಥರ ಲೆಕ್ಕ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಅವರಿಗೆ ತಿಳಿಸಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ನೊಂದುಕೊಂಡು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ವಾಪಸ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರ ಮನಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರಬಹುದು, ಈ ಮನುಷ್ಯ ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಡಿ ಜಿ ಅವರ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದಿದ್ರೆ ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ನನಗೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿ ಜಿ ತಪ್ಪಾರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಫೋರ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪೇ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ದ ಮನಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಆ ರಹಸ್ಯ ವೆಚ್ಚಕ್ಕೆ ಅಕೌಂಟ್ಸು ಇರುವುದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ ಒಂದು ರಿಜಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಡಿ ಜಿ ಅವರು ಮತ್ತು ಮೇಲಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ನೋಡಿದ ಪರಿಸ್ಥಿತಿ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಂಥ ಒಂದು ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರ ಮನಸ್ತಾಪ ಇತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ
ಆಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ಆ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನು ವಿಧಾನಸೌಧದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ, ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದೆ. ನನಗೆ ಆ ವಿಷಯ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಿದ್ದೆ 1:15 ಸುಮಾರಿಗೆ ದೂರವಾಣಿ ಮೂಲಕ. ಮತ್ತು ಅದೇ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಿರಿಯ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿಗೂ ಕೂಡ ಅವತ್ತು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಅದು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದೀನಿ ವಿಷಯ. ಸೊ ಆ ನಂತರ ಪೂರ್ಣ ವಿಷಯ ಡಿ ಜಿ ಅವರ ಸಮ್ಮುಖದಲ್ಲೇ ನಡೆದಿದೆ. ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಅದು ಯಾವ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾನು ಹೆಚ್ಚಿನ ಮಾತನಾಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
The case is now being investigated by the CID. But is there more to it than what meets the eye in this bizarre story? Is the ADGP a culprit? Or do his allegations against the commissioner hold credibility? Nabila for News9, Bengaluru.
Second cabinet meet today, Prime Minister Narendra Modi issued guidelines to his ministers, giving out a 10-point agenda for the next 100 days. The Prime Minister has called for better bureaucracy and asked for innovative ideas.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has been a busy man. Ever since he was chosen as the PM, he swung into action, ensuring that good governance was top priority. And in his second cabinet meet today, the Prime Minister ensured that everyone was on the same page as he. Modi announced a 10-point agenda for the next 100 days and called for his ministers' cooperation to achieve the same. Parliamentary Affairs Minister Venkaiah Naidu, while mentioning the dates of the first Parliament session, also spoke about Modi's priorities for his government.
Honourable Prime Minister's stressed on 3 important aspects. One is the overall governance. That is the need of the hour, which has been lacking. Which has been lacking is my comment. Efficiency, delivery system, implementation. These are the 3 important guidelines the Honourable Prime Minister has given to the Council of Ministers today. And what are the issues that are at the last stage? Take them on priority and try to move forward. And in coming 100 days, what are going to be your priorities? What is your program? What is your timetable? You work out and then try to implement it.
Here's a lowdown of what figures in Modi's 10 commandments. Agenda 1. Build up confidence in bureaucracy so that they do not fear to face consequences. Agenda 2. Innovative ideas will be welcomed and bureaucrats will be given freedom to work. Agenda 3. Education, health, water, energy and roads will be priority. Agenda 4. Transparency in government. E-auction will be promoted in tendering government works. Agenda 5. System will be placed for interministerial issues. Agenda 6. People-oriented system will be in place. Agenda 7. Addressing concerns relating to economy. Agenda 8. Focus on infrastructural and investment reforms. Agenda 9, implement policies in time-bound manner. And Agenda 10, stability and sustainability in government policies. So there you have it. In his second cabinet meet in the last 48 hours, Modi has issued guidelines to his ministers to ensure that the bureaucracy is built up and better governance is ensured. No doubt Indians will breathe a sigh of relief seeing this agenda, considering civic issues like roads, infrastructure and health are also figuring in the list. He has also welcomed decisions and ideas from all the ministers, asking them to innovate and brainstorm on new ways of governance. Venkaiah Naidu also mentioned that Modi stressed on the role of state governments and directed his government to reply to all letters from the different state governments.
And then he also suggested that the representation or the proposals that have come from states, they should not be kept pending for long. They should be addressed on priorities, because the Prime Minister's stress has been from the day one is that to take the states along with the centre, a real federal system wherein both should feel that they are the stakeholders.
Well, it definitely seems like Modi is ensuring he can get the best from his cabinet and gives them freedom to take the right decisions. It now needs to be seen if Modi's government can live up to his expectations and if the 10 commandments are adhered to. A News9 report.
In what can be called as a first step towards improving Indo-US ties, US Secretary of State John Kerry made a call to the newly appointed External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj. Here's the report.
US's goodwill gesture to India. Ever since the formation of the new government, the United States of America has been showing interest in improving ties with our country. Soon after taking charge as the External Affairs Minister, the first call that Sushma Swaraj received was from none other than the US Secretary of State, John Kerry. This was confirmed by MEA spokesperson Syed Akbaruddin in a series of tweets today. First call. India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj received a first congratulatory call from US Secretary of State, John Kerry. Re-energizing relations. External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and Secretary John Kerry discuss re-energizing the strategic partnership in first talk. It is believed that during the call, both the leaders mainly focused on strengthening their international partnership. They also discussed further enhancing trade and economic ties to nearly $500 billion. Kerry also congratulated Sushma Swaraj on the BJP's victory and also for becoming the first lady External Affairs Minister of the country. Both the leaders are planning to meet very soon and further discuss issues to boost bilateral relations. It is also believed that Sushma Swaraj talked about India's relations with the SAARC countries, including Pakistan. Meanwhile, BJP leader Sudhanshu Trivedi also welcomed the goodwill gesture shown by the US.
Any country extends the hand of friendship to India, then we are ready to respond it with more warmth. In this context, any initiative by US Secretary of State towards our Foreign Minister, Srimati Sushma Swaraj, is a welcome move. BJP is of the opinion to have good diplomatic relationship with keeping our national interest intact towards America and all the major countries of the world.
This is the second call from the US after the BJP won the elections with a huge margin. Earlier, US President Barack Obama called Prime Minister Narendra Modi and congratulated him on his victory. He had also invited him to visit Washington in the future. India and the US always shared a cordial relationship, but it was only after the arrest of the Indian diplomat Devyani Kobargade that problems erupted between the nations. Now with the formation of Modi's government, both the nations are hoping to boost and strengthen their ties. A News9 report.